Hi. So, something occurred. Um, Information is coming through from like ahead of schedule. What's coming is this projection of the masculine of intense desire. So, be mindful to know how to discern the energy, because it's like you're gonna attract your masculine energy, but you're also gonna attract the other side of that, the shadow side of that. And if you haven't dealt with the shadow side of that, then it's going to be overwhelming. If you've dealt with it, then you're going to be okay. If you've dealt with it, you're going to feel very comfortable with what it is. You're going to feel very comfortable with how it is. And you're just going to allow it to pass through. So in other words, let it filter through what isn't of you. Meaning like what you've overcome, what you no longer are wanting to attract. And I do like that, I guess, because it's like being very clear on your intention can be a little bit overthinking in some ways, but it helps to really hone in on your focus so you can't be distracted or deterred. So two things that came about. One, the sign of Sagittarius came out 3 times in the cards. And obviously we are in the sun sign of Sagittarius. But beyond the obvious, this person could have a lot of, or their Jupiter could be significant. They could be a Sagittarius individual. But it also has to do with the number 3 could be significant, okay? So besides the cards, the song that came through was Personal Jesus from Depeche Mode. But how it showed itself, I guess, is what made it striking. Because I've heard the song before, it doesn't really always, call for a reading. So, Personal Jesus, I want to tell you what the lyrics say. Your own personal Jesus. No, first it starts with reach out, touch faith. And it ends that same way. Reach out, touch faith. Your own personal Jesus, someone to hear your prayers, someone who cares. Your own personal Jesus, someone to hear your prayers, someone who's there. Feeling unknown and you're all alone, flesh and bone by the telephone. Lift up the receiver, I'll make you a believer. Take second best, put me to the test. Things on your chest you need to confess. I will deliver, you know I'm a forgiver. Reach out, touch faith. That's basically all. Feeling unknown and you're all alone, flesh and bone by the telephone, lift up the receiver. Okay, same old same. Reach out, touch faith. So reach out, touch faith, okay? That's exactly like the hands were actually out like that, like reach out, touch faith. So that could be very significant. That could be religious for you. I doubt it. I think it's more the energy of the masculine is very much the energy of it embodies Christ consciousness. So that's the best way to put it. Why am I using the cards? I was not planning to use the cards. Was I? I don't think I was. Okay. No, but the song, the way it came through, there was something else about it. There was something else about it. So also, oh gosh, should I talk about all that? All right, so there's the projection that the masculine is projecting is their appreciation for the feminine energy, their adoration for the feminine energy, their attraction to the feminine energy. So there has to do also with their political views could be, I don't want to say extreme, but they can get passionate in their political views. So I don't think that this person necessarily, it's not a matter of picking a side to debate. It's a matter of seeing the morality, I guess, behind. Maybe it's not morality. The truth, it's like, it doesn't matter who says it, it's who is saying the truth, and the truth resonates in a certain way. Maybe not everybody picks up on it the same way. Oh, perfect. Okay, now I remember. So yesterday I watched a documentary. I have not entertained very much documentaries on aliens and all of, those things, because it sounds very like woo-woo, right? Way out there. But it's not that it's not true, is that it's fantastical. It's made, it's like, why not just come out and say, which in this documentary, I can't remember the name, maybe I should look it up. But in this documentary, this lady was talking about how she's a former government employee, and then she got this like idea. Okay. It's like when someone else explains it, you see it in a documentary, the people that don't really know or are in between, in limbo, in regards like, is that real, is it not real, like they don't have their own understanding or experience to be able to discern truth from fiction in that way. So it's like, so how she was describing it, it's like, okay, I know what you're saying, but I also know how the people are hearing it. The people that are listening to you are hearing it like these actual beings, but this one lady did clarify, which I gave credit to that. She clarified that the conversation, the telepathy, for one, was in her head, that they visited her and it was in her head. In other words, we can perceive through our consciousness higher conscious energies, and we can see visually what people would think is imagination. So like when I say the story about how I was meditating at night one time by my window, and as I was in meditation mode, I can see through the inner realm, that I was being observed by a aquatic being, and they were blue, and they would poke their head through the window, and they were looking at me. Not only did I visually see that in my head, I felt it as if it was happening. I could feel the energy behind me as I'm being watched. So it's your senses, when you expand your senses, you have eyes behind your back. You perceive through different parts of yourself, and it feels foreign, it feels separate, it feels like not what you're used to. It's like you're used to, when you're looking forward, you see what's right in front of you. But have you ever looked forward and see what's behind you? And see it from that perspective. So it's like, I don't know how else to describe that. But when I hear them saying it like on these documentaries, I can see that the general public picks it up as this really strange, otherworldly physical space. And I'm not saying that maybe that those realms don't exist out there when I'm in physical reality. I haven't experienced it that way. What I have experienced is strange phenomena in the spirit realm. In that realm where it's outside of your own purview. It's like, okay, my life experience doesn't dictate that I have a memory of something from another time that I did not exist in. My physical reality shouldn't dictate that I perceive thoughts and I'm thinking that's normal when it's seen as abnormal, yet it's common but expressed in a way that is very far-fetched to most people. Lord have mercy. Excuse me. We have Pisces. Sensitized. Is that not what we were just speaking of? The senses. And I guess when you can see, it's like, okay, you can see that someone has a knack for something. Wow, you're a great athlete, or you are a great speaker, or you're great at how you compose yourself or how you handle your wardrobe, whatever it is. Like, you can tell when somebody's good at something, yet people don't often do so. I guess tell others their talents or something, they don't, because they can't see beyond their own reality. So it's not necessarily to say that they can't see. They're looking, but they don't see depth in anything other than their immediate reality. Like, it's almost like a survival mindset of, I remember, I don't remember, I don't remember. Wow. There was a moment in my time when I was slowing down, because I know when I was hyper busy, like mentally rushing through things, like, yeah, I got you. I'm like a mile a minute, right? And that experiencing someone in that energy, if you're calm and collected, or if you're like laid back, it could seem startling, like chill out, right? Like, it ain't that serious. So when I started slowing down mentally and I started slowing my own self down, I noticed when people were being that way. And it doesn't come across as okay, I should say what it came across to me when I see someone in that energy. When you see someone in that hyper energy, it's really letting you know how overwhelmed, how stressed their day-to-day life is. The movie, okay, it's called It's All Her Fault, and it's like a short series, and it shows these main character women having these prestigious careers, the perfect life, right? The perfect husband, the perfect marriage, the perfect job, perfect family. And then suddenly, this huge nightmare occurs. But what it reveals is how quickly, no matter how right you do something, how quickly you'll be to blame for dropping the ball. The finger being pointed by someone who doesn't even it's like if you're managing someone or holding the fort for someone and that person suddenly wants to blame you, like it's your fault, it's like, wait, the resentment that showed up very quickly in these stories, or how dare you, when I wouldn't make a mistake if I wasn't so overwhelmed. In other words, it's like I can manage this, but had you, it's like the blame game, had you not put all this responsibility on me, maybe I wouldn't be so overwhelmed and so stressed and so tired that I wouldn't have let something like that bypass me. And not to have the I don't want to give away the story, but when the husband did that and he unraveled, what was unraveled through him was his need to be needed. And I think that maybe as women we might underestimate, or at least I did, the need for a man to feel needed, because they can justify anything to, I did it for you, I wanted you to need me, but to the extent of wanting to see you in pain or in fear so that they can feel comforting to you. So if you're self-sufficient and you're not in pain or fear and you don't need them, then they're useless. And it's like, that's the only thing you can say is like, okay, but it's not that the woman thinks that they're useless, it's that they think that we think they're useless if we don't need them in that way. And it's like, I don't want to have to need you in that way. I don't want to have to be in pain or fear for you to comfort me. Can't you just comfort me? Can't you just comfort me? Meaning, can you be there without it having to be that I'm broken? I don't have to be broken to need you. I don't know. It's weird. So there's this like rebirth with a Scorpio. You're being asked to investigate something to do with the rebirth of your sustainability in your home and your resources. And something to do with achieving. Pluto rebirth, Scorpio investigate. Investigate this rebirth. Something to do with resources, sustainability, your home, in the home, and what you achieve. So, so perhaps maybe even it's like, okay, are your goals aligned with your values? Are your goals aligned with your, so in other words, you have a goal to be successful. Successful equals financially stable. So that's the goal, but is your belief that money is the root of all evil? Because if it is, then you're going to have to define success by another metric. And so if you feel a certain way about money that isn't good, if every time you spend your money you feel like overwhelmed, or you feel like you're doing something wrong, or you feel like you're you're limited, so you have to worry about what you have, then that's blocking your ability to receive more of it. You can't handle large amounts because the small amounts are overwhelming. So you have to get comfortable spending your small amounts. You have to get comfortable using it in a way that feels like you're succeeding, or feels like you're actually making moves, like you're exchanging it for something that's going to give rewards, and not something that feels bad. So that's the message. I think that's all. All right, I'll come back soon. Take care.